The A1, Britain's longest road. Stretching almost 400 miles from the City of London to the heart of the Scottish capital. Connecting two nations and passing through 18 counties. It's an unrivaled highway used by hundreds of thousands of vehicles every day.
We're going southbound down the A1 on the northbound carriageway.
But not all journeys go to plan.
I thought I'm going to lose my life.
Cars are coming close. It is the dangerous place to be.
Lives can hang in the balance.
The rear end of that vehicle, it's unrecognisable.
This is actually the bodywork of the car.
24 hours a day,
It's not a safe place here.
there's a team of people who keep us safe from harm. The police,
Vehicle come off the road, gone into a hedge.
response teams,
We don't know whether they've got the road closed or we don't know what's happened.
and traffic officers.
Keep going.
Keeping Britain's most iconic road
Get out!
on the move.
Substantially damaged flatbed truck in lane 2.
The A1, the monster that it is, will start to return to normal.
Coming up, a horrific crash with devastating consequences.
You get one chance at life, and it's a really, really precious thing.
The race to rescue drivers caught in a four-car collision.
130 vehicles cleared of the lane 2 now.
And the lorries putting lives at risk.
This is a fuel tank. The cap's missing. Somebody just put a plastic bag in.
From the heart of London, the A1 stretches nearly 400 miles north, through rural Hertfordshire and Cambridgeshire, past the industrial heartlands of Leeds and Newcastle, before finally ending in the city of Edinburgh. On the section just north of Newcastle, evening rush hour traffic is starting to build. A1 patrol officer PC Alan Keenleyside has stopped to investigate a heavy goods vehicle with Spanish plates. It's pulled over on the side of the road and is causing a dangerous obstruction.
What's wrong?
No, 2 minutes I go.
This is not a place to stop.
No, I go.
Now,
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
Let me see your chart.
The driver's tachograph reveals that she's reached the maximum number of driving hours allowed before taking a break.
You've been driving all day. You should have stopped 1-2 miles up the road.
But as Alan advises the driver about her rest break, another HGV pulls up. And the driver's eager to talk to Alan.
Bump up there.
Yes, mate.
Yes.
Just spewed all over the road. All right, boss, no worries.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
And another driver has also seen the accident.
Whereabouts?
There's no in hospital.
A pile-up in rush hour traffic is serious.
I think there was 3 vehicles. One vehicle left in the trees has crumpled a bit.
Alan needs to get there quickly.
To be perfectly honest, it's now 5:15 on a Monday afternoon. Couldn't happen at a worse time.
Multi-car crashes often result in casualties, but Alan's hoping for the best.
The ideal scenario is when we get here, there's nobody's seriously injured, the vehicles aren't particularly badly damaged, we can get everything moved. The level of injury at the scene isn't confirmed at the minute, but ambulances have been asked for. These people going about the business, probably coming home from work to see their families and their loved ones, and all of a sudden, you know, they've left work and they don't think they're going to be involved in something big like this. There's a car in a tree down the ditch. This is really, really key in people's lives. These are life-changing events.
When Alan arrives at the scene, it's clear that he's dealing with a major accident.
We've got a car over there with some serious damage. Got a Land Rover here. 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles here, so quite a sizable scene.
With several injured motorists, vehicles and debris everywhere, and rush hour traffic thundering past, this job will push Alan to the limit. This is just one of more than 320 serious accidents that happen on the A1 every year. And it's the job of traffic officers as well as the police to deal with them. In Doncaster, 2 are about to head out on the early shift. It's 6:30 a.m. and Paul Day and Rob Larkin will be patrolling one of the busiest sections of the road.
Turn them all on. All up. Yeah.
And it's not long before they have a major collision to deal with.
Just hearing about a few problems on the A1. Looks like we could have an accident involving at least a couple of vehicles on the southbound side. It's now starting to queue there, so it looks like we could have a problem.
What we got reports of is a multi-vehicle crash. So we're heading south to attend it.
4 cars have piled into each other, and with rush hour traffic hurtling towards them at 70 miles per hour, Paul and Rob know the stranded road users are in danger.
We'll stop traffic, we'll see if anybody's injured, we'll make sure everybody's okay. We try and get everything back to normal as quickly as possible, but as safely as possible as well. There you go. Is it there? Yeah, lane 2's blocked.
Even though the accident has only just happened, traffic is already starting to build.
1-3, lane 2's currently blocked at the location given.
Paul and Rob need to get back down the other carriageway quickly. But the northbound section is also virtually at a standstill.
Look at that traffic.
Fortunately, help is at hand.
That should make it a little bit easier for us. What's good here is police attending gives forward traffic we're moving out of the way, because they've got blue lights and sirens.
Within a few minutes, Rob and Paul are on the scene.
Yeah, we're here now. You want to stop everybody from that blue wagon?
The damaged vehicles are blocking a whole lane, and the drivers are stood perilously in the middle of the road. With traffic still flowing past, they're in serious danger of being knocked down.
Hotel Alpha Charlie, Echo 1-3. Got traffic stopped. We're code 6. Police on scene.
Having removed the vehicles safely from the carriageway,
1-3, all vehicles cleared of the lane 2 now.
Paul and Rob can reopen one of the lanes.
A lane 1 closes better than a lane 2. So that's what we've done, is put a lane 1 out.
Now he needs to make sure the drivers are okay.
How are you?
Yeah, shaking like a leaf, to be honest.
Are you? You all right? Can you tell us what happened?
Right, so big queue of cars in front of me. They all sort of suddenly stop. I've managed to stop, but then felt this car come straight into the back of me, and then it was almost instant, a bang, bang, bang.
Everything happened all at once.
I felt it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Checking a bit. You all right? You warm enough?
I'm all right. Yeah.
You sure? You got a coat in your car?
I'm fine on it.
Sure?
Even with just one lane closed, the usual A1 traffic flow is halved, and tailbacks are building fast. It's vital that Rob and Paul get the drivers and their damaged vehicles safely off the hard shoulder and open the whole carriageway as quickly as possible.
I bet this has gone back at least 10 miles, this traffic.
It creates a big problem. This could take all day to clear.
The pressure is on. Can Paul and Rob get hundreds of vehicles moving before traffic is delayed for hours to come? More than 100 miles north at Gosforth in Newcastle, rush hour traffic has also been brought to a virtual standstill. A1 patrol officer PC Alan Keenlyside is still dealing with a multiple car crash in the outside lane.
Sounds like he's coming at speed. He's hit that one, which is then connected with either that one or that one.
His priority is to get the injured driver seen to now that the ambulance has arrived.
The paramedics are seen to the driver of the vehicle has taken the biggest hit of them all, really. I think the driver is going to be suffering typically of whiplash-type injuries, or was quite rightly on the side of caution, so they're going to put a neck collar on him, and I imagine that driver will be going off to hospital to be properly looked at. The rear end of that vehicle, it's unrecognisable.
The lady driving the Land Rover has been fortunate to have escaped unhurt.
The female in the car there is she probably suffered more shock than anybody, but the car's probably the least damaged.
But she witnessed the whole thing. Footage taken from her dash cam captured the terrifying moment of impact. When congestion turned into a multi-car collision.
I was driving along, traffic was slowing down, so I'm slowing down with the traffic, and then there was a silver car, and then it smashed into the front of me. And then next to me was that car ended up there in the ditch. It's as if something off like a Hollywood film, you know, just chuck a car into the mix. The positive thing is I'm walking away, I'm okay. It's a car, I can replace the car. My baby wasn't in the car, luckily. That could have been very bad for my little boy.
With the injured drivers receiving treatment,
Come on, okay.
the officers now need to get the road reopened as quickly as possible.
We've got a clear front-end impact with what we call vehicle number 1, because that's the vehicle that we're looking at as potentially being responsible. But over there we've got vehicle number 2, which have taken a heavy impact. Okay, would you like to follow over?
Although police are trying to keep traffic moving, there's still dangerous wreckage strewn across the road.
If we leave a bit of debris, a motorbike or a car could see that debris, especially at night time with the headlights, and they could actually swerve to avoid that debris, which could result in another collision. So we need to make sure when we clean the road that it's cleaned properly.
But there's another problem. The crashed vehicles have also spilt fluid all over the northbound carriageway.
It's mainly water, but there is a little bit of engine oil in it as well.
It means that Alan has to hold up the whole of the southbound section so that absorbent material can quickly be laid on the road.
It'll only take about 2 or 3 minutes, so we need to get that absorbed to make the carriageway safe, so things like motorbikes don't slide on the road, that type of thing.
The only thing left to do is to safely remove the wrecked vehicles from the side of the road.
What you see on the back of the car there, that's all energy. That's probably 60 to 70 miles an hour's worth of energy.
Now Alan is able to review the footage from the dash cam for the first time.
Wow. That Mitra's taken a really sizable collision there. The gentleman's got his lights on, the gentleman's brake lights are all correctly working, correctly illuminated. Big collision. The roads are a cruel place. You hear stories from all over the country of a family in a car doing nothing wrong, sitting in traffic, and then all of a sudden there's children and adults tragically killed in a split second. And when you see things like this, it does hit at home, it really does. Because you get one chance at life, and it's a really, really precious thing.
The A1 is one of Britain's key routes for lorries transporting cargo. More than 80 miles away near Wetherby, an operation is underway to identify HGVs that present a danger to other road users. Lorries are responsible for 1 in 5 deaths or injuries in accidents on the A1 each year, so the stakes are high. Faults like dodgy brakes or worn tyres on any vehicle are a hazard, but on a 40-ton truck, the results can be terrifying. Parked up on the A1 is Senior Traffic Inspector Paul Berryman.
Victor 2 in position northbound.
It's his job to spot suspect trucks.
It's hard to actually tell you what I'm looking for. It's something that it's an instinct you get over a period of time. If something just doesn't look right on the road, if it looks a little heavy, if it's not being driven right.
And it's not long before Paul sees something that warrants a closer look.
I'm just going to go and get that tanker there, that Belgian tanker.
Paul needs to overtake the lorry so he can signal him to pull over.
So I'll just get in front of him, but he knows I want him now because he's slowing right down. The other thing I've got to watch is as I pull off the motorway, if he doesn't feel like following me, he'll just continue straight on up, which is an offence, of course, and he can be prosecuted for that.
And Paul leads him to a weighbridge site just off the motorway, where the team from the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency are running today's operation.
Hiya.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
I'm just giving it a quick look round, recording the registration number. Just make sure he's got all his necessary markings and there's nothing hanging off and everything looks secure.
With 30,000 litres of Belgian chocolate on board, the driver's heading for York. For now, though, he'll be the one taking a break while Paul checks his paperwork. Meanwhile, another lorry that was brought in earlier is getting its mechanical once over. And it doesn't take examiner Steve White long to find a serious problem.
Right. This is a fuel tank, but obviously the cap's missing. Somebody just put a plastic bag in. Obviously that's going to result in immediate prohibition, so the vehicle can't be going any further with that defect on it until it's being rectified.
With only a plastic bag stopping hundreds of litres of fuel from spilling all over the A1, it could be lethal. Even the smallest patch of diesel can be dangerous to motorists. So until it's fixed, Romanian driver Sorin and his truck full of clothing won't be going anywhere.
You need to phone your boss, get him to send a fuel cap.
It's okay, no problem.
Yeah.
While Sorin makes his call, Steve moves on to the Belgian chocolate tanker and spots a fault with one of the tyres.
I'll just show you this defect. You got some damage on a tyre.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not down to wires or structure, so at this moment in time it's just advisory. You just need to keep an eye on it, that's all.
With advice given and his paperwork all in order, the driver and his delicious haul are on their way. But things aren't quite so sweet for driver Sorin.
This is, I call boss, okay?
Yes.
This is address, service, Volvo. Is possible let me go service?
That'll be about 15 mile away. No, about 20 mile, 15, 20 mile away.
Is possible?
It is possible, but you need to get to Volvo. Are you going to get there? Taxi?
Taxi?
Sorin's day isn't getting any better. First came the fixed penalty fine, and now he's facing a 30-mile round trip in a taxi to try and get a fuel cap. Will he ever get back on the road? Just over 20 miles south near Doncaster, traffic officers are grappling with another big challenge. After a multi-car pileup, Paul Day and Rob Larkin are battling to keep stranded motorists out of harm's way.
All vehicles cleared of the lane 2 now.
Having closed both lanes whilst damaged vehicles were removed from the carriageway, they've now reopened one of them to ease the traffic. Around 50 people are killed or seriously injured on Britain's hard shoulders every year, so Paul's priority is the driver's safety.
What we do now is keep an eye on people because of the tendency to wander about and without a view for any safety. So that's what I'm doing at the minute, is keep an eye on people who are in cars. We don't want anybody getting further injured, like there's a bloke, I'm going to move now because he's stood on outside of that car. Mate! The danger is somebody not seeing this lane closure and coming into him. They just take him out. He's just not looking behind him at anything.
To ensure everyone's safe, Paul needs to get the drivers and their vehicles off the carriageway.
Watch yourself, boys!
But only 2 of the cars are roadworthy. The others will have to be recovered.
That'll just save that coming off it road then.
Instead of leaving these 2 vehicles here, what we're planning to do is get the police to escort the Fiesta off to the next exit so it can get recovered from there.
With the white Fiesta safely chaperoned off, there's just the grey BMW left to shift. But it won't start.
There's nothing there.
So Rob and Paul will have to push it off the road.
Right, we're going down this hard shoulder, and the first little yard, we're going in there, all right?
But weighing in at around 1.5 tons, this isn't going to be easy.
It's a German BMW, great engineering. They make them out of solid steel. It's really, really hard to push. I hope he's had his porridge this morning.
No need for a workout today. Luckily, the car's facing downhill.
That's better, I've got grip. Job's a good one.
Minutes later, a recovery truck arrives to pick up the grey BMW. Finally, Rob and Paul can now start to get both lanes fully reopened.
Everybody's clear at Live Lane so we can open this lane. We're trying to get it open as quick as we can.
It's taken nearly an hour and a half to clear the smash, and the effects on this 2-lane stretch will be long-lasting.
If it was normal motorway, it'd clear a lot quicker because you've got 3 lanes. It can handle more volume. But with it being 2 lanes, it'll take forever.
Unless traffic eases, it can take all day, and especially if something else happens, it compounds it. You can have knock-on effects all the way down. That can be pretty much everyday job, can't it, on here?
Oh, yeah.
You could get one of them every day.
Shunts.
Every day, every shift.
Yeah. It's because of the amount of traffic that uses this road, and people drive too close to each other.
Too close, too fast.
Thankfully, Paul and Rob's swift actions have ensured that this incident has ended without anyone getting hurt. Back up the road near Wetherby, keeping A1 road users safe is also a top priority for another team. Inspectors from the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency are continuing their operation to stop and check lorries to ensure they're roadworthy. Earlier, this wagon was found to have a serious fault by Enforcement Vehicle Examiner Steve White. The fuel cap is missing, and a plastic bag is the only thing stopping a lethal spill. Driver Soren has gone to find a replacement cap, but with no sign of his return, Steve has to take action.
We're going to immobilise the vehicle now. He's had an hour from issuing prohibition notice. Obviously the vehicle's still got the defect on, so he gets immobilised.
And with the front wheel locked, this lorry really is going nowhere. Fellow Inspector Paul Berriman is back on the A1 and pulling in another truck for inspection.
we're just going to do a quick control. Is that okay?
Steve checks the truck for mechanical faults and gives it the all clear. But Paul is suspicious about the tachograph, which records the driver's hours, speed and distance.
Well, the indication is that there's some sort of interference, but it's not solid enough to give any sort of evidence or proof. We would need a bit more to go on.
The truck has done over 1 million kilometres, so Paul would expect to see about 50 small mechanical faults recorded in that time. Things like a flat battery, but there's nothing.
That's the first time I've ever come across a printout like that with no faults on. In 10 years, I've never seen a printout with no faults on, ever. Not even on trucks that are weeks old, there's always faults. But this just hasn't any faults whatsoever. So either it's been very, very lucky and never had a fault, or it's never recorded a fault, or it's been manipulated somewhere and the faults have been erased.
Paul suspects a magnet may have been used to tamper with the tachograph, but the inspectors can't find one. So with no physical evidence, all Paul can do is ask the driver.
I guarantee he's going to say no. Are you been using a magnet? Magnet? Switch? Switch? Zapper? No. You sure? You sure? 100%?
No.
No magnet?
Could be.
Really?
Program.
Okay. It just seems too clean.
Reluctantly, Paul has to let the lorry go. And Romanian driver Sorin is back with a new fuel cap.
Yeah, that's fine. The gentleman's paid his fee for the mobilisation. He's also paid his fixed penalty fee for the defect. Once we remove this, the gentleman's on his way.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It's been a successful day for the team. They've pulled over 11 vehicles, identified 4 dangerous faults, and ensured these drivers are safe to keep on trucking. Everyone involved in the multi-car smash made a full recovery. The driver of the white van is being investigated for careless driving. And lorry driver Sorin made one last trip back to the DVSA.
He set off and he forgot his documents.
Before getting back on the road
Okay.
and completing his A1 journey.